Hello, this video is going to be on ways that you can decompress your spine. So I know many people come into my office and, they have these pains in their neck or their back that won't go away. And they've been adjusted before sometimes, or they've had this injury resolve and it feels fine for a while, and then it comes back like months later and they don't feel like they're doing anything. And the patient tonight that actually asked this question also was saying, I do yoga, I stretch, I try to stay lengthened out. She even has a device where she can put a collar around her neck and it sort of lifts her neck, and she still ends up kind of just compressed. So the first story about that is bones can get stuck in your spine in different ways. So if you think about it, you have one bone on top of one bone in your spine, and it's just made up of many of them. They can get stuck in rotation, so turning. They can get stuck tilting, lateral bending, or they can get stuck in compression. And that's three of the biggest ways. And so one thing that you have to do is make sure that you consider all three of those ways that things can get stuck, before you receive a chiropractic adjustment. So this evening we were able to just pull on her head, and she felt some loosening here, and everything sort of started to improve. Of course, she had some really tight muscles too, but it got me thinking, that there have got to be ways to naturally decompress your spine, and I wanted to share a couple of those with you. So a lot of this is kind of a no-brainer. Like, one of them is just to hang. So arms up overhead, if you've got some kind of like pull-up bar, anything that you can hang from, just let your body hang and try to really relax your shoulders, let everything relax, and just let everything kind of hang. Now you're gonna, at least from like here down, get a nice good stretch and a lengthening down the back. Another way is just letting your head hang sort of like off the end of your bed. So if you get to like the end of your bed and you just let, just right where your base of your skull comes in. So you don't want to lay, with your head maybe right here to start. You want to just let just the base of your skull hang so everything else is supported. Then you can move down a little bit and move down a little bit and a little bit more to where you're really getting that nice hang going on. If you have an inversion tables are a really great way to maintain a long and decompressed spine. So those can also be contraindicated, meaning you shouldn't use them if you have tendency for high blood pressure, or if your muscles spasm and lock up when you get on it, you may just not be ready for it. A lot of times, if you have already been getting some chiropractic adjustments and some work on your muscles to relax those, you're an active person who gets your exercises in, and then you get on an inversion table, it can really help to just keep you lengthened out. But I don't know that it's going to go from a compressed spine to a decompressed spine just by laying on that. Does that make sense? So it can really maintain your progress, but it's not going to treat the problem. Another way is just intentionally, the hardest part about all this is it's got to be intentional. Anyone can just lay off the edge of their bed for hours of a day going, I don't feel any different. But when you deep breathe, when you feel your spine lengthen as if there's a string coming out of the top of your head. So look, if this is how you sit all day, and then someone imagine you had a string pulling out the top of your head, watch how my posture changes. Right? So intentionally going through these motions. Another one is to just reach down to touch your toes and let your head hang. So I'm probably going to disappear off the screen a little bit, but here goes nothing. Just letting your head just hang. Shaking your head yes. Shaking your head no. And you're going to want to hang out with your head hanging down like that for a while. It's going to take a while for your muscles to just relax, for everything to lengthen out, and for you to find some relief. But just hanging, shaking your head, letting it just hang heavy. Those are some really good ways to just stay loosened up, stay decompressed, and stay lengthened. Also, there are videos circling all over the internet right now of chiropractors just like yanking on people's heads, and they just look terrifying, right? But there can be a responsible way to get a vertebra to move that way, and it doesn't require like me like yanking you off the table, but it's just a nice quick pull. So you can always ask your chiropractor if they'd be willing to try some kind of move like that too, and it doesn't have to be anything that's aggressive or scary, but it can be very therapeutic. Know that if you find that you're having pain in an area of your back while you're on an inversion table or while you're hanging, you probably need to see a chiropractor. And then you can go right back to your hanging routine, and it's going to help your results last longer. All right, well, as always, let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments, and we will see you soon.